There's a way to become this like mid-tier level of fame that didn't exist before social media. We teach you to use that. So every time you're on a date with a girl, the GM of the restaurant or the chef comes out to greet you. Every time you go to a nightclub, you just walk in effortlessly. Half the time when you go to a conference, they ask you to speak on stage. How do you get those opportunities? That's exactly what I teach.
How long do they need to be in your program to be able to reach just a minimum of what you're talking about?
About 20 days to reach the minimum level, because there's certain things like the biggest ROI you're going to get is completely fixing your social media. By doing that, you're going to notice. I get hundreds of messages from my clients. We're at 2,500 people that have gone through the course now. I get hundreds of messages from my clients. Hey, Michael, I changed my social media. My ex-girlfriend's messaging me out of nowhere. She's telling me I shouldn't be dating this girl. And I'm messaging her like, wait, you broke up with me. Why are you messaging me? The effect that it's having on the people around them, that's going to happen. That can happen in 20 days. If you put in the work, it can happen very, very quickly.
No matter the location?
No. So here's the funny thing. I have a client in New York. And he's actually having the opposite problem. It's so packed and busy in New York, and he lives on the far side of Brooklyn, that it's like he has to take a train an hour to get to Manhattan. So he's in a city with millions and millions and millions of people, and he's still able to do it. He's still able to pull it off. But it's the guys who actually live in these mid-tier cities like Waco, guys who live in like Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, or that live in Wichita, Kansas. They crush it because there's no social scene there. So they make their own scene. They take the techniques that I teach. There's beautiful women in every city. You just take the ones that are in that area, and you can figure out how to create a social circle in those locations. And then as far as the social media stuff is concerned, it doesn't make any difference where you are. Now, is it ideal to live in some place like, I think Scottsdale would be ideal. Las Vegas would be ideal. But Las Vegas, just because there's so many beautiful women that come here to compete for the bikini competitions and to work in the pools and stuff like that. But I think probably there's no issue with being in a small town. I have so many clients, and I don't know why, from Dusseldorf, Germany. I have just so many, and I know that's not a super small town, but just a disproportionate. And then I have the biggest city is probably Mumbai. I have several clients who live in Mumbai. I have 2 clients that are using VPNs that are currently in the People's Republic of China. Yeah, right now it's pretty amazing. They're like messaging me from China. That one's pretty crazy. But the guys who are like throwing charity events in India, those are the. So it's like you're sitting there in Mississippi and you're complaining about this. Do you know how hard this is to do in India compared to here?
That's true.
I think I have 8 clients now in Dubai, and then in like probably the biggest places are going to be New York, Austin, Las Vegas. We have a ton, Miami, Los Angeles. And then I have a lot in like the Phoenix, Scottsdale area. But that's kind of where most of them are. I have a few in San Francisco, but they're all over the country. Oh, obviously, Dallas, I have a ton too. But yeah, I mean, I was like, how did you figure this out? Like, this is crazy. And he's just like, yeah, I just did what you told me in the program to build a social circle. And then the other part is, and this always happens, is that these guys end up getting either better jobs or better employees from the program I teach because they're hooked into better circles. This is something like, if you're somebody and you're trying to get that dream job you've always wanted, the guys who are giving out those jobs are going to dinners with people who aren't you. They're going to parties with people who aren't you. They're going to concerts with people who aren't you. They're going to nightclubs with people who aren't you. They're going to conventions with people who aren't you. And I teach you who those people are, how to get connected with them. And it really is who you know. I mean, if I told you, I just cannot tell you, especially in like things like anything to do with media, the level of nepotism and the level of just like who you know is part of the reason. It's so, you notice all those guys like the James Franco and the Seth Rogen and the Jonah Hill, they were all friends before they became famous. It was like they